if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test, I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion. Even though I offer all of the solutions, I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you I knew this. When I'm with you I feel so useless, I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded. Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free.
Hello friends, it is Chelsea and welcome on back. We are doing another plan with me in my catch-up quote-unquote series. This is going to be for the week of December 1st through the 7th of 2025. I used this gorgeous, I think this is exclusive art from Scribble Prints Co. It is based off of like the Chris Kindle Market from Chicago. I know they have one in Carmel, Indiana that's supposedly really good. They also just started having one in another town very near to me. So lots of Christmas markets full of overpriced goods. The students were originally supposed to go to the Chicago Kindle Market Monday, but school was canceled Monday and Tuesday because of snow. We've had some really weird snow weather here the last month or so. It's been interesting. They were able to reschedule the trip and go, but they were supposed to go this Monday, which I didn't know originally when I laid down the spread, but that's okay because you know what, it worked out. So Monday and Tuesday, we did have to work. The kids were on virtual, so basically, or e-learning, excuse me. They were on e-learning, which basically means that the teachers have to upload something for them to do, for the students to do, and that's how they get credit for attending school for the day. They don't necessarily have to get it done that day. I know a lot of people were concerned because like the elementary schools didn't take their Chromebooks home over the previous week's Thanksgiving break, and so a lot of the kids weren't able to do their e-learning. But as we discussed, the kids are allowed to do this later, because I had a lot of people calling, like parents calling me, just being like, well, how's my student supposed to do their homework? They didn't bring a Chromebook home. And I'm like, first of all, they should always the kids should bring their Chromebooks home because they're in junior high and high school and they probably have homework. But more importantly, They have multiple days to do it. They have up until a certain time to do it. And if they don't do it, I think they get counted absent for the day, which of course counts towards their attendance, but it is what it is. So Monday and Tuesday, I didn't do much at work. I decorated the office, the front office, like sort of minimally decorated the front office Monday, and then Tuesday I just didn't have anything to do, and unfortunately I had to stay there because I couldn't leave. So I read an entire book. I know I marked that I officially started the Othello Club on Monday, but I actually I actually completely read it on Tuesday. I don't think I actually read any of it on Monday. Oh, goodness. Sorry. I'm very sleepy. I don't know why. So Wednesday, we just completely raw dogged the day. Like, they didn't even delay school. They just sent the kids to school. I was very upsetty. It was a very hectic day. Like, it was chaos. I was not happy. And I was like, here's the problem. Like, obviously we didn't have the students or the teachers, but I'm like, teachers, like, it's your fault that things are chaos up here right now. Like, I'm just going to say that. Anyway, after work, I had to run to Walmart. I don't know what for. Probably something my mother needed. It's always how it is. I mean, to be fair, if I take the long way home, I drive right by Walmart, but that's not the point. Thursday, I was super anxious, and I don't remember why. Let me look at my notes for that day and see if I wrote anything in there. Maybe it was just the weather that I was anxious about. That may have honestly been what it was. Because the weather was supposed to get really crappy. And Friday, my friend Rich that I've talked about before, he and I went up to Fort Wayne to, I talked a few weeks ago about a board game garage sale. So Rich and I went this week. Friday, we went to drop off our games for the sale. We had made plans, so I was like, well, I can't leave until 4. And he was like, well, we're going to be late because it takes us about 2 hours to get where we need to go from where we live. So he was like, is there any way you can leave early? And I was like, well, let me talk to my supervisor, my boss, whatever. And so I talked to her and she was like, yeah, like, she goes, you can leave it. I said, can I leave at 3:30? Because I wanted to leave at 3, but I'm like, things were just not, like, it was not a good day for me to not be there, especially at the end of the day when the kids leave. So 3:30, the kids leave. The kids technically are dismissed at 3:28. So 3:30 would have been fine. Unfortunately, things got a little bit out of hand and I wasn't able to leave until about 3:40, 3:50. So, yeah, one of my coworkers came out and she was like, weren't you supposed to leave? And I was like, yeah. It is what it is. So I texted my friend and I was like, hey, I'm running late. And he was like, that's fine. So am I. So I ran to the bank and came home and he got to my house about 10 minutes after I did. So it worked out, I guess. We made it to where we needed to go on time, which is always good. So we did drop off our games and then we went over to our friend Matt's house. He was gracious enough to let us stay at his house overnight just so we wouldn't have to drive 2 hours home and then drive 2 hours back up in the morning because we like to get there at like 8. They open the doors at 8. They start the sale at, I think, 10. Honestly, I don't remember. I think it's 8 or 9. I think it's 9 or 10, but I want to say 10. Yeah. So we wanted to get up there early. Because we always do, because if not, things just get really chaotic. Although there weren't nearly as many people there this year as there were last year, but it is what it is. So we dropped off the games, went back to Matt's house. Matt had ordered us pizza, so he picked that up. We ate pizza and we played a couple of games, and then we went to bed. I slept like shit. My friend Rich slept like shit because we were both sleeping out in the living room, and it was not a living room that's conducive to sleeping. We went to the board game garage sale, and then when we got done, we ended up going to a restaurant called La Fogata, which is a Mexican restaurant. It's pretty good. I got the al pastor burrito. It was a little spicy. So it was good, but it was a little spicy. And then while we were sitting at La Fogata, I was just exhausted because obviously I hadn't slept. You know, things were just whatever. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like watching people going in and out of this building. I'm like, what is this building? And I'm like, they've got like coffee cups in their hand, like, you know, those plastic, the glorious plastic coffee cups and things like that. And so I ended up going. I was looking and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a coffee shop. And my friend Rich was like, you want a coffee, don't you? And I was like, yeah. I said, I'll just go over really quickly and then I'll just meet you guys in the car. And he was like, no, I want to go too. He's like, I want something. He's like, I might want something too. And I'm like, okay. So we went in there and I told them, I was like, is there any possibility that you could make a, you know, like a brown sugar shaken thing? And she was like, yeah, no problem. We can do that. It was not good. So crappy coffee. And then after we left Crescendo, I did have to run over to my sister's house for a minute. And then Rich and I we left Matt and went to the car dealership. Rich's truck had been hit by a deer. And the insurance had actually called him Friday and told him that they were going to total out his car, but that he had to have they were going to total out his truck, but he had to have the rental back by Monday. So he had 2 days to buy a car. That was cool. So I ended up going to the dealership with him, mostly because, like, what else am I going to do? And he pissed off the guy at the dealership because he was like, oh, are you wanting to buy this today? And he was like, well, yeah, but I need to talk to my wife. And you could just see the attitude change almost immediately. And I was like, oh my God, here we go. But anyways, got that taken care of. We went and picked up our games and our money, sold the rest of our stuff at half price, had an endless drive home, and my back was killing me. Sunday was just a normal day of coffee and YouTube, planning, groceries, ghost adventures, had a headache, couldn't sleep. That is the finished spread, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.